There was a pulse of red light from the summoning room, followed quickly by the sound of something being torn apart. I imagined it was the sound of reality ripping. More poetic that way, whatever the actual case may be. "You will consume the corpses in the other room," Arthur boomed out in what he assumed was his most commanding voice. "And then destroy this building. Then you will remove yourself back to your native plane." Whatever had been summoned started chuckling. It sounded ominous as hell, which, it might actually have been from hell, so there you go. It sounded as it should. "I think not," the summoned thing said in abyssal. "I command you, creature," Arthur shouted. "You will obey me or I will leave you trapped in this circle forever." More laughter, followed by a loud crack. Then I watched Palix crash through the wall beneath me. "How?" Arthur started, but the fight was on. Palix was surprisingly fast getting to his feet. He charged right through the hole in the wall and got back in the game. I know I probably should have remained where I was, but my curiosity was too much. So I crawled along the beam until I was at the wall and peeked through the slight gap to see what was going on the other side. A red-skinned, heavily muscled creature stood in the ruins of the wall between the main room and the summoning room. The thing looked exactly like what I thought of when I pictured a demon or a devil. Horns, wings, claws, split hooves, the whole nine. Its horns came right up to the ceiling, close enough that it'd leave grooves in the wood if it wasn't hunching slightly. The dude had a big mouth, but it wasn't actually able to contain his thick yellow teeth that almost seemed to be stuck in random places. They looked like they were teeming with disease. It glared around with red eyes that had vertical pupils. The two iron silents had their short swords out and stood on either side of the creature. Putting out just the bare amount of mana, I shot an identification spell towards the demon devil thing. Mulramon, level 41 demon. The Mulramon stretched its claws out, some drool coming out of its toothy maw as it smiled. Arthur lunged forward and dug his sword into the creature's thigh. The demon just smiled wider. He grabbed Arthur with one arm. I thought I was about to see the dude get crushed, which in all honesty I was looking forward to, but then Palix hacked at the Mulramon with his sword. A light glowed out of the sword as it swung through the air, and it sliced deep into the Mulramon's other arm. The Mulramon roared. He backhanded Palix, but dropped Arthur in the process. Palix hit hard enough to break through the wooden wall, revealing a stone wall behind it. Arthur pulled a dagger out. He jumped up and plunged it into the creature's heavily muscled neck. The creature turned its head so fast it looked like a blur. Then he bit all the way around Arthur's shoulder,